Thank you very much, Dick, for joining us. Again, the Springboks are back. They're on the ticker tape parade. Dick, can you just maybe explain to us what do you think the emotions are now of the management and those players?
Yeah, it's incredible, man. You know, they've been through so much, they've done so much, and for them to be getting a little bit of credit from the people and to be sharing the wonderful result that they've had with the people is what it's all about. You know, they've made this campaign one that's an inclusive campaign. It's one that is doing it for everybody else, not just themselves, and that's what it's all about. That epitomizes rugby for me and team sports.
Dick, you've donned this jersey and also been on the other side as management. Just talk to us about what the jersey itself means actually to the players.
Yeah, I think it's something that you grow up and you aspire to trying to be like one of those players. And then to get the actual opportunity to do it, it's better than what you could ever dream of, you know. So for these guys to have gone out and done this and to have won the ultimate prize of the World Cup, and then with their other results, you know, that they've achieved over the last 8 years, I mean, it's just incredible. And it's so good for our country, and it's so good for everybody just to share in the celebrations.
And then Dick, just another thing, I mean, I know Sia has spoken about a lot, and Jacques and all other players, the inspiration that they get from the people of South Africa. Just how important is the game of rugby to the people of South Africa? Because you've seen it transform over the years, from being probably the skunk of this country to now being the one thing that we hold dear. You know, how important has this team been to the people of South Africa and the people of South Africa been to the team itself?
Yeah, you know, Vata, I've seen it. I live it every day. You know, there's a little school over here in Franschhoek called the Kusasa School. You know, we went around there with one of the international schools that were out here, and they got a taste of these kids that are underprivileged, that are you know, that are living under dreadful circumstances. But the one thing that gives them hope is the Springboks, and these kids, you know, they've rallied now for them to be able to go out there and see their superheroes and to share in the celebrations and feel part of it. I mean, it just gives them hope, and I think that's what everybody's talking about. So rugby has done that for so many people, and I just wish, you know, our politicians can learn by this and let's get this country back to where it belongs.
Dick, what next for South African rugby? First of all, what next for the Springboks? And what impact do you think this will have on the growth of the game? And would it be too ambitious to say that you know, a bulk of his team will remain for 2027? Can they do it again?
Yeah, you know, I think just if we look at the outcomes, then it's not realistic. But if we look at what it does for the country itself, you know, I think that there's a lot of people, you know, I think of the South African rugby legends, I think of the development programs that are going on throughout the country. I just think there's so many people that just love sport. They love this country, and rugby has been a shining light in the way of giving people that hope, you know. So I just think that in years to come, whether we win or lose, it's about participation. It's about just being able to make people proud and know that hard work doesn't go unnoticed.
And Dick, you obviously you went to school down in the Eastern Cape, a school that produced the first black Springbok in Maratana. Guy like Sia Kolisi comes from that region. Just speaking about Sia and the impact it's had on rugby and on the country itself. Yeah, what do you say about Sia Kolisi and what you see first as a rugby player, but also as a person?
Yeah, listen, it's incredible for me to see. You know, I remember when I was coaching the Sharks, and a friend of mine called me to say there's this great player that's playing for Grey High School, and I tried to recruit him to the Sharks, but Russie sort of got in the way, and he got him to Western Province. But just to see the growth in Sia as a player, as a leader, he's just so well spoken. He just understands it so well, and he's managed to get the whole Springbok team to rally around all the bigger things, shall I say, the little things that make up for the big things, So it just makes me so proud to be a South African, to see what these guys are doing and how they're sharing in their achievements with everybody else.
And Dick, obviously you've been in the coach's box as well as coach at the Sharks and assistant coach for the Springboks. A guy like Jacques Nienaber, who's I think for the greater part of his tenure as Bok coach, has been in the shadow of a Rassie Erasmus. I think his role has been understated, and his influence on this team has been understated. What would you say about a guy like Jacques Nienaber and what he's actually done as a head coach of the Springboks?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, Jacques sort of sat in the background. Russie's has managed this whole thing, but he has had a massive part to play, for him to, or for the two of them to work so well together. They know each other so well, but to put a management team together, to put a team of players together that have got so much experience, and for them to have traveled this journey to achieve what they've achieved is like just remarkable.
And then, I mean, the other guys in the background, a guy like Dion Davids, Mzwandile Stick, Dan Human. When you look at that backroom staff, and obviously we look 2 years ahead from now when Russ's contract runs out, do you think any of those guys are capable of stepping up to becoming head coach? Or do you think South African rugby would have to probably go outside to go look for someone to come in?
No, I don't think so. I think they've got a succession plan. I think with Russie being the director of rugby, they already know what that plan is, and these guys would have all grown and learned, and I think there's capable guys within the system, and when you have coaches that have been there, that have had the success, I think it counts for a lot, because anything is then achievable, and they also know what the standards are that need to be kept. And if with a little bit of careful guidance, there's no reason why this can't be repeated. But we don't want to just be outcome driven. We want to make sure that we do the little things right. And the little things right is what's happening right now. I think, for the businesses to start investing more into sport, the partners that have gone with the Springboks, I mean, just hats off to them. Hats off to everybody that's been involved. This has been a remarkable achievement.
Would we see a name being thrown in the hat, Dick? Are you going to be part of that succession planning?
No. Listen, I'm too old for that, But listen, if you've been there, done that, you always feel part of it, So there's some of those players that are there that I've coached. There's some of those players, the management that I've worked with. So I've been feeling that I'm part of the journey, although not quite being there. But once you're a Bok, you're always a Bok, and all we wish for is for the best for the Springboks.
Thank you very much, Dick Muir, former Springbok assistant coach. Thank you very much, Dick Muir, for your contribution as well to rugby and to the Springboks to where they are today.